The trend closest to society that should become a movement due to its intentions and versatility is street art. But not just any kind of interactive street art. This is a perfect opportunity for the public to seamlessly connect with their environment, or rather, art designed solely to connect with its audience. Let's start with the concept. What is interactive street art? Traditionally, street art has been characterized by its rebellious nature, breaking social norms. It's not created by formally trained artists, but by individuals who decide to place their work in public spaces. This is where interactive street art comes from. Unlike other forms of street art, it invites viewers to become active participants. In other words, this art requires the connection and participation of people to be complete. This interaction not only enriches the artistic experience, but also transforms everyday environments into striking and beautiful scenes. But when was this kind of art created? It dates back to the 1960s or 70s, evolving from a style that has been around for some time. Street art consisting of graffiti, murals, and other works created independently of established norms. Over the years, it has gained a new status, being recognized as an art form and providing opportunities for many emerging artists to experiment. Like all art, it evolves and adopts new trends. Over time, this form of expression has adopted various techniques and styles, incorporating visual and tactile elements that directly involve the viewer. At some point, an artist expressed the desire for street art that, to reach its minimum status, should interact with its audience, moving from solitary art to art of and for the people, creating a new blend of expressiveness. What kind of technology has been used to achieve this level of interactivity? Here, we delve into the latest human invention, immersive technology. Interactivity goes hand in hand with immersion, which will become clear as we explain or demonstrate. Within this field, we find some interesting elements, from augmented reality, which aims to superimpose digital elements on the physical environment to create hybrid experiences, to its counterpart, virtual reality, which allows viewers to immerse themselves in entirely virtual worlds. The ubiquitous motion sensors used here not for simple purposes, but to detect and respond to the viewer's movements, creating real-time interactions for a deeper response. Finally, projection mapping transforms surfaces such as buildings and streets into dynamic canvases through light and video projections. We've explained a lot of theoretical concepts that may bore some and fascinate others, but we haven't delved into practical applications. What kind of work can be considered in this niche? Well, dear audience, as is often said in presentations of this nature, we have a number of areas that qualify as street art. Umbrella Sky Project, Agueda, Portugal. It's an umbrella sky with colorful umbrellas suspended over the streets. It was created in 2012 in the Portuguese city of Agueda by the creative agency Impact as part of an art festival plan. It creates a vibrant and eye-catching canopy that adds shade, color, and fantasy to public spaces. Before I Die Walls, Candy Chang, created by Candy Chang in 2011. It's designed to encourage reflection on mortality and personal aspirations. These are black painted public walls where people can write in chalk what they want to do or accomplish before they die. Musical Swings, Montreal, Canada. These were installed at city bus stops for public use and produce harmonious sounds. There were 21 swings per bus stop. Luz nas Vielas, Sao Paulo, Brazil. This was an urban intervention project carried out in 2012 by the Spanish art collective Boa Mistura. They worked with locals to paint areas of the favela, the most dangerous zone in Brazil, with words like beauty, strength, love, sweetness, and pride, with the goal of beautifying the area. Not to mention the great artists who have promoted these practices and styles. Candy Chang, known for her Before I Die walls that we mentioned earlier. JR, famous for his large-scale participatory art projects such as Inside Out, JR uses photography to capture and display people's stories, fostering a sense of global community. Pablo Valbuena, specializes in projection mapping and light installations, transforming architectural environments into interactive visual experiences that play with the perception of space and time. Although we've touched on why it exists, we haven't discussed much about its effect. We can break this down into 3 basic aspects: community engagement, public interaction, and environmental transformation. Community engagement. This involves directly involving the community in the creation of these activities, which are both recreational and active. Public interaction. As the name suggests, this allows for socialization, curiosity, and creativity, transforming typically shared spaces into unique experiences. Environmental transformation. This changes the perception of everyday environments, bringing life and color to often overlooked urban areas. These 3 elements explain why this art exists and its role in society. This is even simpler, by enabling social collaboration. Many of these projects and creations need people to engage with them in order to function. They are ineffective without support, but most importantly, they create spaces for interaction. In an increasingly divided society, finding recreational spaces that capture people's attention and facilitate one-on-one conversations strengthens our community and sense of belonging. This creates a bond between people and makes them more responsible towards their environment. However, it's not all perfect. There are some conflicts that we need to mention up front. There are several challenges to creating and maintaining interactive street art installations. First, the integration of technology can often be complex and expensive, requiring considerable technical knowledge and financial resources. In addition, these artworks are vulnerable to vandalism, which can result in damage or intentional destruction. But the worst part isn't even that. It's the weather. While vandalism can be controlled, the weather cannot. This means it can negatively impact installations, especially those that rely on electronic or sensitive components. Finally, obtaining permits from local authorities can be a long and complicated process, with multiple regulations and bureaucracies to navigate. It's political and quite cumbersome. However, methods are being developed to ameliorate and address these issues. From security systems to studies of ideal locations, interactive street art is moving towards greater integration of advanced technologies and the proliferation of emerging temporary installations. This trend will allow for the exploration of new forms of expression and participation that address social and political issues in creative and direct ways. And what can we do to support this? Just participate whenever these events and creations are developed. At the very least, recognize and appreciate the artists wherever you see them, both with friends and colleagues. But what can you do to support us after we bring you this content? Just like and subscribe. It costs nothing and helps us a lot. See you next time.